Hello. This video is for the guys. I hope you really take the time to watch it, mainly because I just kind of had these thoughts last night and I wanted to share them with you in hopes to begin healing or helping to heal the men. And whether or not you feel like the loneliness epidemic is affecting you or not, I think it's still important to watch all the way through. And I think that it's important that I share it on a video like this so that you can kind of take or leave the parts that resonate with you. But I know like society doesn't really allow, like it's hard to give people feedback and it's hard to sometimes receive things that are hard to hear. All that is to say, I hope that what I say comes across in a productive way. So I will begin. I need you guys to fully understand that collectively, we have all been very conditioned and conditioned in lots of different ways. And I feel like the loneliness epidemic that a lot of men are feeling is by design. And I think that it's so important that you realize that, you know, this is not something that's like necessarily your fault. But it's important overall to zoom out and look at what society has done to condition you. So the first thing, like if I could give you one request that I think would help change your life for the better. And again, this conversation is not strictly about the male loneliness epidemic. This is about males and healing and thriving and feeling and actually living your life, okay? So I don't want you to say, oh, I'm not part of the male loneliness epidemic. I'm gonna stop watching this video. So please stay. So first of all, I wish that I could give you the gift of self-love. We have all collectively, by society, been conditioned to hate ourselves. So if you don't have it in your spirit yet to love yourself, at the very least, can you try to do me the favor of not hating yourself? And like, I think that a lot of men don't connect and they don't talk to each other. And one of the things that really helped me heal as a person, because of what I've been through and the choices that I made and the ugliness that I created in this world and the anger and the frustration and the using people, you know, like the things that made me get through that was like, first of all, I don't want to feel ugly inside for the choices that I'm making. So I started making better choices. Every single day is a new day. Number two, I was so ashamed of who I had been historically and maybe how I treated somebody, that shame only furthered my self-hatred. So with that, you keep self-sabotaging. You keep thinking that you don't deserve this or you don't deserve that. And like, there's a fine line between deserve and worth and entitlement, right? So like there's always this kind of line that we're walking. So I'm talking about worth. I'm not talking about entitlement. You are not entitled to a girlfriend. You deserve love and you are worthy of it. But in order to attain and achieve love, you, number one, have to, for sure, like understand that it takes work with yourself and work with another person. And then those two people's lives merge and you guys continue building foundations for your relationship. Okay. So I think that the conditioning that's happened with you guys is a lot with like total shame about emotions. You have been taught that only like 1, 2, or 3 emotions are healthy or masculine enough for you to experience. We are living a life on earth. We all chose to incarnate on this earth, or if you don't believe that, we are here, like it or not. And the reality of that is emotions are not masculine or feminine. Emotions just are. They are a part of our existence. Sadness, happiness, joy, anger, frustration, annoyance. These are not male and female centered. So I want you to first get away from that idea and that concept. Number 2, your joy has been only attached to what you can provide monetarily or otherwise. And so your worth is all, your value that you're valuing yourself is also tied to those things. All that being said, like, can you understand how that alone conditioned you? You can only experience anger, maybe some happiness, but like it's all within the confines of these restrictions because joy and elation and being so happy you're crying is a sign of weakness? Are you crazy? You are a human. You should be experiencing full joy. And they have robbed you because you might shed a tear. That is a human response. That is a physical response. And I feel like because men only allow themselves to express, because you're feeling the feelings, you're just not expressing them, only express these allowed masculine feelings, and it's keeping you confined. And what do animals do when they're confined for long periods of time? They explode or they become aggressive. If you open the cage, they try to bite you or get out, or they claw their way out, or they kill their cellmate because you're so confined. And that's not natural. And so what tends to happen is so many men will then hold it in, not express, not speak up, not talk about something, not even express the joy and the good sides. And all of a sudden, now you're just exploding at your family or your wife or your loved ones, and you don't know why. Or you're depressed, you're irritable, you have no energy, you just can't seem to find any sense of happiness. And then the explosion over time, or the short temper, the frustration, like, my wife is talking to me too much, or like, just leave me alone when I get home. Like, is that who you really want to be? Is that who you really want to be? And the reality is, like, I want to go back a little bit. So When you explode and you keep doing that over and over and over again, eventually, as much as somebody loves you, they have to love themselves first. And by you treating them like that consistently, eventually people can get, tired of it. And they want to love themselves more than you're capable of loving them. And so they choose divorce or to walk away. And it's so sad because I think so many men are regret their divorce or regret their breakup so much further down the road when they kind of have the ability to nurture themselves a little bit, or just at least have alone time with themselves to hear their thoughts and to feel the loneliness. And it sucks. It sucks that it has to get to that point for you guys to realize what you could be giving up by not changing the behavior or healing yourself. Okay, so now let's jump back to the emotional spectrum. So the other aspect of depression and anger and all of those things is because you're holding it in, you're not connecting to the world. So whether that's, talking to a friend, and Adam's really great about this. He'll pull things out of his guy friends. Hey guys, really talk to me. What's really going on? But if you don't have a friend like that in your life, you may not be encouraged to speak up. Now, if you're lucky enough to have a partner or a wife, trust and believe they want to connect with you. And by connecting to them, you're not this isolated island with all your fears and frustrations and sadness all on your own. We are meant to connect. If there is one thing I know for sure about life, is that we as humans are meant to connect with each other. And if you travel outside of this country or even look at other cultures within this country, they have figured out connection. And that connection is showing up for each other, watching each other's kids, fixing each other's houses, supporting each other emotionally, cooking meals together, barbecuing. If you remember back in the 80s, we had more ways of connecting. And so I just really want to encourage you, as hard as it is, it gets easier to just talk about what your thoughts are inside, especially with your partner. Because women's role in your life is to nurture and love and transcend these fears, thoughts, and otherwise. So if you're not giving this information to your partner, the connection starts to die. And then they're left wondering, well, what's wrong with them? And why won't they talk about it? And just let me in. And that's what they mean. They say, hey, if you can enlighten me into your thoughts, we can A, work through them together. B, I can help you transcend them. Which just basically means I believe in energy. So if this is a negative energy space that you're living with, you saying it out loud and us sort of throwing that negativeness out the window, so to speak, allows you not to carry it anymore. But you're walking around and you're carrying it. Which again is leading to suicide, depression. I mean, everybody is on a pill these days, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Please, these are tools. But I think that you can go more steps for yourself if you choose to connect and if you choose to just reach out, explain your needs, experience joy, be vulnerable. It's hard. I know it is. I've been through it. I mean, I would not even want anyone to see me shed a tear at a sad movie. I was horrified at what somebody would think of me, you know? And I remember being in this theater one time. It was the movie Crash. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, it's an old movie. But anyway, something happens to this little girl and you like think she's shot. And I just started bawling because it was so not her fault. And why would that person do that? And it was a mistake. And then it turned out to be a rubber bullet. And this like sense of relief, like nothing happened to her. Oh my God, I'm so grateful. I was literally bawling, like one of those balls in the theater, and I couldn't help it. Like it had just really got me. And so I feel like I do see men like finally when they really get got, they'll, you know, cry out of joy or whatnot. But I just want to remind you that like that is absurd. You deserve joy right now. You deserve healing right now. You deserve to feel the full spectrum of every single emotion a person can feel on this earth and in this existence. And like, our society has conditioned you to believe that if you don't have a big paycheck or a big house or a big other thing, or like that you're not somehow worthy. But like, that's horrifying, you know? And then it leads down to these darker and darker paths of trying to fulfill that need of connection, but it becomes like entitlement, control, and otherwise. So like you see what's happening with our society right now is like all the incel men or men who really believe that women like owe them these things and might even do atrocious things to those women. Like if they would have realized this maybe a few steps back and sought therapy or, you know, talked to a female and said, hey, like I'm struggling. What do I do? Like I can't, every time I talk to a girl, it's not working. And then it's like, it's so funny because even making this video, and I was thinking about making it last night, but I didn't. I was just like, this is so sad because I'm so afraid to make this video and have it go viral, which like, I don't even want it to go viral for me. No thanks. But like, I want it to go viral so that men understand that they need to find a way out of this. And I think it is just allowing yourself. The first step is like allowing yourself to just feel. And once you feel and you open up to people about those feelings, I think you're going to see a drastic change in your life. And so going back to my earlier statement of like, I was afraid to make this video because half the guys on here, no, let's say a third, and I'm using just whatever's. A third of the men will be like, oh, that's cool. Like, yeah, thankfully I've realized that already. And like, I'm doing the work. Another third, maybe, you know, wow, I never saw it that way. Thanks so much. And then the last third are going to sit there and say that my hair's not done and I have no makeup on and who am I and I'm not the prettiest chick in the room and sit down and you're overweight and you don't know things and your hair's graying and like, you know, so it's like, it's so sad because even those kind of comments are these conditionings of society to somehow like believe you're better than anyone, but it's coming from such a place of insecurity. And anyone who knows that's where those comments are coming from. So like when they say forgive them, they know not what they do. Like bad comments, ugly comments, they're not going to do anything against me, but they're going to make you feel worse about yourself for being so angry and so ugly and choosing ugliness over beauty. So I think I had a couple more points. Just that I think, suicide rates in men are higher than women. there's something to be said for that. The fact that there's a loneliness epidemic, obviously a huge concern. And like, part of that is women understand that a lot of men are not willing to open up and connect in that way. And so women feel more alone when they're with a man who is not able to connect with them. Whereas women, when they're alone, actually feel more connected because they're at least connected with themselves. So that's why they're choosing to be alone, because you won't just connect. You won't say, hey, I'm struggling with jealousy, and I need your help. And if you have a good partner, they'll be like, oh my gosh, what are you jealous about? I love you. You mean the world to me. You're the father to my children. Like, if you're feeling like I'm unworthy and you're so much better than me, tell me that, because I'm going to affirm you if I'm the right partner for you. Honey, you're wonderful. Look at all the ways you provide for the family. Even if you're not the main breadwinner, even if this, So like, if you're just having these thoughts and not bringing them out into the light and into the open, you're going to continue down this road of isolation and depression and pain and suffering. And I just really hope that this video serves to remind you that you're part of this billionaire patriarchy devised destruction of America plan, to give it a name. And like, we all have to rise up and do differently and be better. And like, women don't want you to be lonely. We don't. And some women are angry right now, and they are expressing that anger. But the reality is, like, things don't change unless you change them. So it's time for us all to do a little better, be a little better. Ladies, if you're watching this, please either send it to your guy or take note that if they do start coming to you in a vulnerable, transparent way, that you like affirm them and say, hey, I understand. Now that we've talked about this, I have some things too that I want to share that I haven't shared. So it's got to be like this flowing reciprocation of trust, support, validation, kindness, etc. But yeah, to all my guys out there, you're worthy, you matter. You should experience the full range of emotions on earth. You don't need to hold it all in and explode and destroy your family. And I love you. Talk to you later.